Hello everyone, welcome to our session, Wintermute MGP Generative AI. Today's session, we will target to showcase how multi-generation plan automation using generative AI is going to add value in delivery optimization. To start with, let me introduce our hackathon team. Mike is the principal architect, Chetan is software delivery architect, myself Sudipta is customer delivery architect, Faisal principal architect, and Santosh is product management architect. So today we will cover a brief overview of MGP followed by MGP automation prototype. Then we will get into the key part of the session, which is the demo of our prototype, followed by there should be a case study and business impact, and then what next, and we will conclude the session with a summary. Now, being said that, I will hand over the session to Mike.
Thank you, Sudipta. So for those not familiar, the multi-generational plan or the journey map is really comprised of three primary parts. We have the discovery phase, which is where we gather all the information about the network. So it could be diagrams, voice recordings, pictures, documents. We gather all that information to build an as-is state. Then we gather the customer business requirements, define the where we want to go, and then we develop the to-be state. So basically, it's a journey map that captures current state and then the gap analysis. All right, just a little bit more on the multi-generational plan to give you a feel for the dollar amount involved. So in GES Premiers, we have 23 accounts with 1.5 billion ARR. GES Central, we have 543 customers with 679 million ARR. You'll see over on the right, we've kind of captured the different phases of the multi-generational plan. And that's really what this automation generative AI thing is doing for us. We gather all this internal information, and then we build the as-is state and do the gap analysis and develop the future roadmap. A lot of the business value is around delivering predictable costs, informed decision-making, having a 1, 3, and 5-year roadmap so that customers and Cisco can basically plan this out over time.
Thank you, Mike. Typically, to build up a MGP, it takes time around 4 to 6 months of engagement and huge numbers of input data collection. And here we will showcase how to optimize this timeline through this automation from months to weeks. Now, you will see here that we have used various data sources like PDF, text, meeting notes, and image files as input data set. We have an aim to use WebEx recording also, which is still under consideration. Today's automation prototype, you will see that we have used GPT-4o as an LLM supported by CX AI Playground, prompt engineering and retrieval augmented generation RAG to process multiple input data set. And of course, there is an AI user interface which is being used and developed by Streamlit, and output is being captured in a specific CX approved PPT template. Now, being said that, this is a snippet of our multi-agent automation framework where you can see that every different piece of the MGP automation has been handled by the separate agent, and all these agent inputs are being monitored and collected by supervisor agent. And this recursive summarization is being collected finally, and it is basically put it into or captured into as an output in a slide deck. Now, briefing about this automation framework, now I will hand over the session to Chetan to take us through the demo. Chetan, over to you.
Hi, so I'm showing here the various input documents that we have used for this prototype. There are many diagrams. There are some documents that have workshop notes from the customer interaction. You can see there can be hundreds of such documents, and these include different kinds of data. Most amount of time during discover phase is spent into understanding these documents, reviewing them, understanding what customer environment looks like. So this is where we are trying to simplify this process using generative AI tool. So here I'm showing the tool that we have built. On the left, we can upload files, and once the files have been uploaded, then we can interact with that data and ask for some outputs. So I'm going to provide an input file here. This is a PDF file with text content, which contains the security policy used for LAN by the customer. And I will also upload a diagram. So this here is a diagram of high-level wireless architecture used by the customer. So when this document is uploaded, it's being processed by GPT-4o in the background. And once the processed output is taken, it is put into the MongoDB Atlas API provided by the CX AI Playground. Now that the documents have been uploaded, I can start asking questions. So for MGP, most important question is going to be, what is the high-level summary, customer challenges, and customer goals? So once the question is asked, then the tool is going to start going through the data and get the answer. Here we got the output quickly because for the demo purpose, it is cached, but that also provides performance. Looking at the data as well as the output, we can see that the tool has automatically found out what the reasons are available from the diagrams, what are the different types of devices and different challenges. I can start drilling down into some of these items. So let's say if I ask what are the customer goals, then I will get more detailed information about what the customer has stated as per what their goals are. Of course, right now we have uploaded the documents for this prototype, but ultimately we would want to be able to pull the data from sources like SharePoint. And then another part of the demo here is downloading the presentation. Now the tool is taking the output it has generated and putting it in a PowerPoint format that is used for specifically MGP Live presentations. Once the presentation is generated, then I can show what it looks like. Okay, so this is the presentation that just got generated. You can see the date here, and it has automatically captured the customer name, which of course is anonymized here. And this is the slide that is generated by the tool. So you can see it has captured the data in a PowerPoint format. And then of course, as we start developing this, there will be more slides that will be added by the tool. Thank you.
Thank you, Chetan, for taking us through the demo. Now, as a next step, let's understand the business use case and the value. Mike, over to you.
Yes, thank you. So if we look at the business value and really the dollars around this, which is really one of the key components, without a multi-generational plan or a journey map, typically we would see on the far left the initial CX bookings. However, if we do a multi-generational plan with this as is and to be state, the services pull through we see is about a 15x business multiplier. And there again, this is actual data that was captured over a period of 5 years. And then we'll see from a product standpoint, we'll see a 0.6 or times 6.2 business multiplier, and then leveraging the predictive automation, we'll actually see a 68x multiplier.
So you have seen so far the demo, the presentation, and what the problem statement or challenge statement we are going to solve here. Just for the information, in this whole automation prototyping, the security has been taken care of, and we are using all AI approved tool by Cisco by default. So, and most predominantly, this framework is very easy to use. It's a lightweight, and the multi-agent architecture gives you the option of the plug and play. Now, what's next? Today, we are in the presentation of showing up the prototype of the hackathon, and we have a long run to go, as you can see. We have a plan to train the AI model with more and more data set. We would like to capture customer sentiment as part of the MGP automation and put a thought to use the outcome of the sentiment analysis in the data set as well. Our first target is that to launch internally to gather the user feedback of this MGP light automation at the end of February, and mostly the closure of the first MVP to conclude by end of March, which will comprises of the full MGP light automation. We also have a plan to introduce the phase 2, where we will scale up this automation for full MGP automation. Now, being said that, today's session, whatever we have presented, it's being documented as a code in the GitHub. Presentation is available in the SharePoint. And for your information, just to repeat once more, the frameworks being used is the front-end Streamlight, server-side is the Fast API, and LangGraph and LLM multi-agent. Unleash the power of Gen AI with MGP automation for speed, scale, and repeatability. Thank you for attending this session, and I hope you all enjoy it.